Alrighty, here we are. This is going to be the punting video. First try, Google Glass, no helmet. So I'm going to warm up first, have the ball, spinning it in front of me. So let's see what it looks like. Alright, so you can kind of see the drop there. I'm learning on this just as much as everyone else is. So key thing with the drop, make sure the ball's flat, bounces straight back up to you. Middle finger on the underside of the seam, and keep your eye on the ball at all times. So you don't want it to bend too far inside, because then your leg's going to cross over. Your kick's not going to be as good. So this is kind of the monotonous practice that everyone has to do if you want to be good at something. So you want to make it second nature. You just catch it, find the bottom, and then go. All right, let's try and do some actual kicking. These are going to be warm-ups at first, so they're probably not going to be very good. But you got to get loose. All right, so take a couple practice swings. Retie the shoe real quick. And here we go. Let's see if this works. That was pretty garbage. So I have no idea if the glass is catching the ball flat or not. So you want to keep your head down, whole way through, make sure you make good contact. So now still getting the leg warmed up, so I'm not exploding all the way through. That'll come in just a little bit. All right, let's try this full speed. Some more hang time on that one. We're also kicking against the wind, so on these, your drops are very important. Make sure it's consistent. Oh, that was terrible. Drop came inside on that one. On that, didn't really go where I wanted it to though. Alright, now we're going to walk down, gather the balls up, then we're going to kick some with the wind. We'll see how much further they go. So this is the exciting part of practice, is getting all the balls gathered up into one place. Also to note is that if you do heavy squats a day or two before punting, your punts usually don't turn out very well because your legs are kind of tired. Which is why we do all the weightlifting right now, and then during the season it's mainly maintaining. This will also be a good test for how long the battery life is on the glass when I'm running it full recording. So I'd like to see if I can get a practice recording of this. Then the other thing I have to get used to is not looking up at glass while I'm doing this. So essentially I'm just talking to myself right now, which is pretty awesome. I'm sure I'm going to get some great looks if people come ask me what I'm doing. But the key here is not looking at the glass projection, because you have to focus on everything else around you. All right, so here we go. Heading back towards the bag. Oh. Ah. All right, legs are still a little tight. So you notice my body twisted on that one. Not a great punt. Ah, there we go. So that one got good extension, good hang time, good distance. Came across. All right. There we go. You want to get the ball to turn over. Is that way you know you're following all the way through. You're getting maximum hang time and distance. Got the back end of the ball on that. All right, so the other thing I need to start doing is exploding up through the ball more. Let's start working on that. That was better, I just didn't have a good drop. All right, so the wind's behind me too, so I just want to get this ball up in the air. Came across at it, swiped at it. All right. Drop came inside. Time to shag balls again. There's that wind. Wind is the punter's worst enemy, because it sucks. All right, here we go. Into the wind. So I'm holding the ball out too far on my drop, which is why I'm kind of swiping at it. So I need to make sure I drop it closer to my body. Like that. It seems almost counterintuitive because you feel like you want to really stretch the ball out to get a good kick, but you don't. You want to keep it tight into your body. So that way when you hit it, your leg can extend fully through instead of reaching for it. You also got to make sure you kick through it and not sideways, which is what I did there. There we go. So that time leg went straight through, made solid contact, ball took off, much better. Start doing that every time. Like that. And it's actually good if the ball's trailing off to the right like that, because that means I'm making good contact and my foot is coming straight up and through. The ball's naturally going to tail off to the right as a right-footed punter. so that when I reached for it, it didn't get nearly as much power. Lazy. So that one I felt my drop slipping. So I kind of slowed down to make sure I got good contact, which is why the ball did not go nearly as high as the other ones. So that's the other thing, is make sure you catch the ball clean. Like that. And there it goes. Now the goal for these ones against a wind like this, I'd say it's probably a fairly solid 12 to 15 mile an hour wind, pretty steady, is that you want the ball to hopefully go around 40 yards. Because you're going to lose a lot of distance kicking into it, and in order to maintain the same hang time, you really got to hit the ball well just to get it 40 yards. So you can drive it through this kind of wind, but you'll end up getting a 45, 50-yard punt with very little hang time, which means it's coming back pretty quick. So in windy games, you essentially survive against the wind, and then you make your average back up when you're kicking with the wind. Because then you can just hang it up in the air, and the wind will take it an extra 15 yards or so. All right. So also the key with going with the wind is make sure you don't over kick it. Just hit a solid ball and let the wind do the work for you. All right, here we go. Blue bag's the aiming point. You always want to have an aiming point. Drop came inside. That was terrible. There we go. See how it just gets up, then carries. All right, we're really going to start exploding through these. Try and get them up in the air. So there we go. Hang time on that one. And again, a lot of this is tight legs from lifting. So ideally, you don't do 75 front squats the day before you're going to go kick. Thanks, CrossFit. So that one was more of a slap sound, which meant hit it with my toe as opposed to the top of my foot, which means I lost some power. There we go, that was better. And then the other thing is, always want to make sure you look at the ball when you kick it. So if my head pulls up too early, I'm not going to see the ball when I hit it with my foot. I'm probably not going to make good contact. All right. All right, so these are decent for now. Need to get more hang time on them though, because not quite where I want to be at. But again, I'm also missing a lot of leg pop right now. So that's a key thing, is being able to recognize how your body feels and knowing when you need to shut it down. So I'm gonna hit another set down and back, and then that'll be it, because there's no sense forcing bad habits when your legs are tired. So I'm hitting these in sets of 8. So far the glass is noticeable, but not super distracting. It's more that it's just something new. I think with consistent usage, I won't even notice it anymore. The one thing I would like to be able to see on it is that since I'm not really watching the video that much while I'm recording, a record option where you don't see what's in the frame would be nice. So that way there's nothing in the crystal at all, and you don't have those tiny flickers of motion in your peripheral vision. So hopefully an option like that comes up where you can turn off when you're recording. You can turn off the actual feed that's coming through. Down and back. The other downside of glass is I can't really wipe my forehead because there is a piece of technology on it. Alright, back into the wind. Alright, so I need to drive it more. So that one didn't really come off clean, so it got caught up in the wind. And if you're kicking into any sort of headwind and the ball comes out wobbly, it's not going to go very far. Like that. So I'm making pretty decent contact with it, but since it's not staying tight, it's not going nearly as far as it would. So in order to fix that, I need to make sure I lock my foot out more, get even more solid contact. Don't hit the front of the ball. So that time my drop was way too far out in front, which means that my toe is hitting the ball instead of top of the foot. That was better, but I still need to make sure I'm going straight through the ball, not swiping sideways at it. Yeah, just not locking the leg out. There we go. So see how that ball stayed nice, tight spiral, really cut through the wind. Still had good hang time. There we go, that one probably could have exploded through a little further, but it's all right. There we go, that was good. Body finished down. The other fun part about kicking here is going this way, kicking uphill, which is always exciting. Those fields are fairly level. So some fields, when you get in the end zone, it slopes back. They're natural grass for drainage purposes. And it's never fun punting up a slope, because your foot can hit the ground very easily. Alright. One more setback. So I'm kicking all these without a helmet too. So next time I'm going to wear one of my old helmets, see how the glass fits underneath it, and also what the view is like with glass under the helmet. Because it's a lot different punting with an unobstructed view line as opposed to having a face mask in your way. Which is why I would love to use one of the old single bar helmets, but alas, those are no longer legal. All right, so last set. We're really gonna focus in, make sure explode through the ball, keep the foot locked out, make good contact. It's also always good to practice when you're tired. And then when you're not tired, it seems so much easier. All right, here we go. So didn't make good contact on that. Ball was a little bit too far out. I'm dropping it a little too early. That was too much up and not enough out. So you notice the ball didn't turn over there. There we go. Get into that one. Let's see if we can get more leg extension. That's a little better. So the key is you don't just want to kick at the ball, you want to kick it through the ball. So that's where you get your power for hang time and distance. It's also hard to do. Bad drop. Came off my toe. So that was a good extension up. Problem was I didn't go out enough. So that's probably only like a 39, 40 yard punt with the wind, which is not what we're looking for. So I need to make sure my toe is locked out. Like that. So that way the ball turns over. We get another 10, 12 yards on it with equivalent hang time. All right, last one. I'm gonna try and run down after this one, kind of give you a sense of what running down after a pump might look like. Oh, all right. So we got to cover. And I'm spent. All right. That is it for this. So we'll see what happens next time when I put the helmet on.